That's right. It's Bad Weather Fans, episode number 284. Mike Biseglia, Alex Panesowitz, and we are presented by Odyssey. We are live right now. We are live on Bad Weather Fans YouTube. We're live on Alex's. Hold on one second. My mic's fucking up in real time.
Yes,
we're live on Alex's Twitter, but we're not live on my Twitter, Alex. It just said a premium account on X is required to create a live broadcast on their platform.
Yeah.
So
I'm seeing me. Yeah, look at that. I see myself. Look at that on my own Twitter. That's great.
So with that in mind,
as you can tell, it's the first time we've done this.
This is how you. I mean, truth be told, though, this is how you gotta learn. Like, I'd rather you and I just fuck around with it and see if it works than spend 8 hours trying to see if I can.
8 hours. I don't know if I'm spending 8 hours doing anything with you. I tell you that right now.
Should I change my subscription? I could try to go live, and it's going to ask me for money. Yeah, I'm not doing that. All right.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Talk that over with the wife before you do that.
Bad Weather Fans, episode number 284. Leave your comment on YouTube or Twitter. I have no idea if it will work. I have no idea how it works.
Give it a try.
Leave your comment. Leave it. We'll see it. We can put the post up. And we're live now. Alex, I would say when we do these episodes, we edit a little bit, but this is to you,
not
man.
much. This is fun. How are you?
I'm doing well. Usually I ask you how you're doing. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Then are the Nets eliminated yet from the season, or they're
you're gonna just now that you're live, you're gonna go with all the cliches. Do you want to talk about why Can I?
Are there all of your assets? 7 fans listening, or no? I mean, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What was it like watching that parade in what year was it? The next one, the title?
1922.
Yeah, that we can play all the hits today if you want to. But I am happy that the Nets did play basketball. I mean, we could go straight cliche Jones on why I despise the Knicks. Don't despise their fans.
Okay.
No, I do. We could go total cliche if you want to. But I am excited because the Nets did play preseason basketball.
They did
against the Phoenix Suns. 2 games in China, split to 2. But from a Net fan perspective, Alex, it was just exciting to see all of these young guys, all of these young players get on the court, which was fucking great.
Right.
And I say this, and it's a compliment, but the Nets are a lot more interesting right now. The Net fan has a lot more interest in the Nets right now than the Knicks fan has in the Knicks, and it's a compliment to your team because you're a title contender. And right now, us in the pre-show meeting are talking about if Malcolm Brogdon's going to make the team. It's like, well,
he stinks. Yeah,
who cares? Like, I mean, I'm jealous because
who cares?
That's your conversation. Yeah, but who cares? Ultimately, who cares?
Big deal.
No, it isn't. Maybe for Malcolm, but who cares?
So are you saying I overreacted when I said the Knicks are now going to win a championship when they signed Malcolm Brogdon?
Did you say that? You always
and Landry Shamet. I got excited. I got
shout out to Corey Cantor, who was like, he sucks. And you Corey's on top of it. Us Net fans watch a lot of basketball. We watch tape. I don't know what Knicks fans are doing all day.
Well, you watch more of other teams because your team stinks. So there's nothing else to watch. So you gotta watch
now this will stem back to my childhood. But I say this with all due respect to you. It's hard to. I'm still waiting to find a Knicks fan that knows more basketball than I do from my generation. I won't. We're gonna talk 20-year-olds, whatever. But in my generation, that late 30s, young 40s, it's hard to find a Knicks fan that knows more hoops than I do.
I think
you won't argue it.
I think I found one, and that's me. No, I'm kidding. You know what this feels like? You ever watch the show 30 Rock?
I never got into 30 Rock.
Oh, it's a fantastic show. You have to watch it.
No, I've watched it.
A lot of old humor, I would say old, 20 years ago, that wouldn't fly today. 30, but it's hilarious. But either way, the point that I'm trying to make is that they do every show recorded, and then once in a blue moon they had a live show, 2 or 3, and it's just completely different vibe, completely different set. It was on a stage.
I feel that right now.
It feels
I agree with
That's
you.
what I'm saying. It's weird.
I will say best line, and I see this on shorts, is Tracy Morgan goes, and he's out for dinner. I don't know context of this. It just pops up on my feed.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'll have an apple juice. And they're like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't have apple juice. And he's like, fine. It's like vodka on the rocks. It's just the leap.
That's the entire show. It's his randomness.
Maybe I would like it more now.
He goes,
that was funny. It was funny.
Should I even say this joke? I don't know if I should say this joke.
Be careful.
I'm thinking about it. I probably shouldn't say it.
Don't say it. if don't do it, I don't do what you want, man.
He goes, it's like an Asian game show. You don't know what's going on. Like that's like one of his things. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
That wasn't as funny. I kind of built it up a little more than what it was going to be, but sorry.
We're on Bad Weather Fans. We're live, so check us out.
Yes, we are.
But it was fun to see. So the Nets, when they dealt Mikal Bridges to the Knicks, they got 5 unprotected first-round draft picks back.
Right.
And one of those picks was Ben Saraf, who had 11 assists in 22 minutes against the Suns. Now, he's only 19 years old, but by far for me, what I saw from him was his ability to he was the most in control I've seen of the rookies. Danny Wolf aside, a little bit older, but you could just tell the diff. Like Saraf played with a little more poise,
right?
And he just didn't seem like a rookie. He didn't have like the most flashiest of passes, the most incredible moves, but it was just like he was efficient and he looked like he had been playing longer in the league than the other guys. And Alex, I was pretty excited about that. Like just looking at this roster, watching these games, they have young players and there's an excitement for me, and they're going to stink and they're going to be bad, but it's going to be a fun year. Last year was torture. This is going to be a fun year for the Nets. And I'm looking forward to it, Alex. I'm pretty damn excited about the season.
Well, yeah, it's a lot more exciting to watch guys that are actually going to be on the Nets in a couple of years. We'll get deep into the Knicks soon, but like the Nets like are going to have a fun year, and it's going to be fun because you're going to have 5 rookies. You're going to have 5 guys that you can watch, no more Whitehead. You get the guys out of there that weren't, I mean, he could come back though as a 2-way, right? If he clears waivers, I don't even know.
I have no idea.
But either way, regardless, he's a bust, but it doesn't matter. You got the 5 guys who are coming in, and Saraf looks like a player, and you have Denham, who's a top 10 pick, as a point guard. You have all these guys as the Nets. It's way more exciting than what it has been the last couple of years because you have guys who are going to be on the roster next season. You can watch the guys. We talk about this on this podcast all the time on Bad Weather Fans, is that you're now up the mountain. You were at the bottom of the mountain and you weren't climbing it all last year. Now you're like starting to go up. You haven't gone up very high, but at least you're going up where like you never know. One of these 5 guys, 2 of these 5 guys, 3 of these 5 guys turn out to be players. The Nets can turn it around really quickly. And I'm not saying championship, but I'm saying just become a competitive basketball team pretty quickly.
So Yegor Doman, if I'm saying his name right.
Not Denham? I thought it was Denham.
No, he changed. That's his real name. This is what's giving me a hard time with it. When I was in elementary school, there was a kid in the grade above me, and his name was Alex Doyman. And every time I hear
first name, by the way. Yeah.
Disagree. But I keep wanting to default say that, and I'm having a really hard time saying Yegor Doman, and because I want to say Yegor Doyman. And here, this is you want to see, Alex, if this would work? You see on the screen?
Yes. Oh, we learned how to post a comment. Yeah, good job. Thanks, E. Thanks, Eric.
Posted the stream. So, a little fancy stuff.
Our guy.
It's funny too.
On the podcast twice. Great guy.
We're going live.
We're kind of rookies at this.
Ravens fan. It's funny.
Ravens
we're going
suck,
live,
but that's okay.
Yeah, they're having a rough year. We're going live.
We are live,
and it's just
in living color.
It's cool.
So anyway, I mean, so it's Yegor. I don't know how to. Now you got me in my head. I thought it was Denham.
Yegor Doman.
Doman. Okay, but how do you pronounce? How do you spell that? How is it spelled? Is it spelled Denham, or did I say
spelled Demin?
Demin. Oh, Demin. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was Demin in college, but I think it was just so it would help because the language is. It's easier to say Demin for Americans.
That's a great explanation. Mike.
It's easier to say Demin. But he went to Demin, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to my name, so I respect that.
Yeah. All right.
This is
What's up, Dion? Thanks.
Do you know Dion?
Yeah.
Knicks or Nets fan?
Knicks fan, of course.
All right. Well, let's get him off the screen. Just kidding.
I'm kidding. I think he's a Knicks fan. I don't know.
But
yeah,
you
what's up? You got anything to say? Okay, I thought you were going on to Jaeger.
No,
I think he's gonna be good, man. I think the Nets. Oh, he's a Nets fan.
Back on the screen,
my guy. But either way,
I've seen a lot of net jerseys, by the way, lately. A lot of net swag
at a Nets game, or is it
no? Just in real life, and I was excited about it because like I don't usually see a lot of net shit, to be honest.
Right.
It's kind of fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you hang out around the Barclays Center or in the Deion's going to take over the show. Yeah, no, that's what's up, man. Kenny Anderson, Derek Coleman, those are the Nets that I actually liked. And that's next days I like Nets games and days that I liked the Nets. I didn't mind the kid years because the Knicks were so bad and pathetic that it was fun to watch good basketball. But then once I moved to Brooklyn, it was like, all right, guys, I had enough, So anyway,
we could, maybe for this episode, because we're live, Alex, we could go old school and just
talk shit.
Just talk shit. Like, that might be more fun. Like,
subscribe to us everywhere, though, guys. Listen, subscribe. We're available everywhere: Apple, Spotify, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. You guys all know. Especially
you started hating the Nets
when they moved to Brooklyn. Yes,
they moved to Brooklyn. You had no. I started
put up the billboard, blueprint to success. Went nowhere. That's when it happened.
I started hating the Knicks a little in high school. Then it dissipated, and then it came back strong when KD and Kyrie signed with the Nets. That's when it actually was recreated. And I think it was. Now you're figuring out how the fucking app works on the back end. Great, because I wasn't putting that up. Sorry, Mike. That was Alex.
How can you tell?
Here's a true story. You ready for?
I'm ready.
I did.
True
I went to Kohl's.
That's what we like.
This is sad. I don't know if I told you this. I went to Kohl's last weekend.
Yeah.
And I wanted to buy a shirt. And I was just perusing around.
Good shirt.
I went to the sports section.
Yeah.
Truth be told, and then I live in Jersey. I live in New Jersey. Most of it was Giants, a little Jets, and then Yankees Mets split. That was probably, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Nets. Then there was one section of Knicks shirts. I took the shirts, this is a true story, and I flipped them upside down so nobody could see them to buy them.
That's pretty pathetic, Mike. I got to be honest.
It's horrible. I'm not disagreeing. It's pretty bad, right?
No, but honestly, when I was a kid, sometimes I'd be in a sports store and I'd put like my favorite jerseys out in the front or like just be
like 42.
Well, I didn't do it I did it at like 15. Like be at the mall or something with my friends and be like, let me see this jersey. And then like, oh, let me put this one right in the front. You know what I mean? Like, or like think like, these people at the sporting goods stores don't know the good jerseys and I try to put them in the front, not reorganized, but I'd look at one and put it back in the front. Yeah. Display the right thing, kind of a thing, but whatever. So your thoughts on the Nets preseason games? How did they look? Saraf looked like the guy, is from what I've been hearing. I obviously did not watch. I don't watch much of the Knicks preseason games, let alone the Nets one.
Yeah.
But I watched most of the Knicks preseason games, but it's been hard. You know what I mean? With football season, the whole thing. So how did the Nets look?
Well, yeah, the weird thing about the Net games is they've been on in the morning. So I haven't watched them live. I had to do a lot of rewatching because it's like,
who the hell's watching?
It was Friday at 8:30, and I had to work. I don't
you
know.
Have a job?
And a lot of the work I do is audio video stuff. So it's hard to I can't multitask with it.
No. Who can let's
it's just hard. But then I want to focus. But rewatched it and a couple of things stood out. One, Cam Thomas is going to score a lot of points. He clearly has a chip on his shoulder. He's a walking bucket. He can score. I'll be really curious what what MPJ does this year and how he evolves as a leader on this team because they don't have many veterans. I like Terrence Mann. I could see Terrence Mann as the kind of guy that goes to a team that needs to go over the top and would be a great fit. Would be a great fit off the bench for any team that's looking to contend for a title. You can just tell right away he can shoot the ball, get to the basket.
Right.
Great team guy. Everybody around him loves him. Like, he's from Brooklyn too, so I think he's really embraced being here with the Nets. But he is somebody that I think people are I could see there being trade value at the deadline for a team that needs another veteran to bulk up for their title contending run. I really feel that way. Then with the Nets, it's all these rookies, right? We haven't seen Doyman play yet because he's been hurt. Hopefully he's getting back soon and can play in the regular season. Saraf has looked nice, as I mentioned. Nolan Traore, a little bit out of control, speeding with the ball. And I think he's been a disappointment for Net fans. Danny Wolf, I like him. He better handles than I thought, can get up and down the court, can shoot a little bit. Great feel for the game. Like, I know Evan Roberts put a poll out today. Did you see this poll on Twitter? Who has a better chance of becoming this? Justin Fields becoming Patrick Mahomes, or Danny Wolf becoming Nikola Jokic? Unfortunately, it's the NFL guys, because I just
you think there's a better chance Justin Fields becomes Patrick Mahomes?
Yes. Because I've looked at the resurgence of quarterbacks, and I know this is Fields' third team in 3 years, so I'm not saying like,
but he stinks.
I get it. I get it. But like, look at Baker Mayfield.
I'm a Jets fan, but he stinks.
Baker Mayfield was written off, and now he's the MVP.
Yeah.
Like, how good is that? Like, I think there's a better chance of that. Yeah, unfortunately, yes. But to allude to the beginning,
it's a bad player to compare Danny Wolf to.
I mean, it's a stupid poll. I mean,
it is a very stupid poll.
It's a stupid poll. He's trying his best.
No, but you could have put Danny Wolf becoming an all-star or Justin Fields becoming an all-pro, like something like that, and that's a better, like, because the other one is both or no, like you'll get less votes. I think. Oh, the new segment on this show, Bad Weather Fans. Subscribe.
What's that?
Like, everywhere. Every episode, Mike, I have to ask you, out of the 5 Nets rookies, who do you think is going to be the best player? Every episode, you might change your mind. You might keep it the same. Out of the 5 Nets rookies, who's going to be the best player?
So are you saying
your opinion as of right now?
Are you saying this season?
How about let's do like whose stock is the highest as of right now?
I would say trajectory, Saraf. He's 19 years old. He had 11 assists in 22 minutes. He had a good feel up and down the court. He can't shoot yet. Mm-hmm. But I would say of the guys, I would go with Saraf right now. Okay. Drake Powell, it was good to see him play. You know, everything I'm going to say is going to be so positive because that's just the state of mind I'm in. I'm excited. I know they're going to be bad.
No, I mean,
I know that.
You don't know that.
I don't know. They don't.
Last year, I mean, I nailed it with the Nets last year. Remember, we were on Dexter Henry's show at SMY, and I was like, the Nets are going to start off well, and then they're going to be like, oh shit, and they're going to dump everybody, and then they're going to tank. The problem is they didn't dump everybody. They kept like D'Angelo Russell and a couple of guys, and they won too many games, and then they ended up with your famous lottery video where you just went. Put your hands to your face when they got whatever pick it was. 8. What did they get? 8, 9, 8. So that's pretty tough.
We haven't even seen him play yet. I mean, we saw him play in Summer League.
And we are live, and my computer's going to die. So you have to talk for a second because my computer just got crushed. So hold on.
Got crushed with what? Because
I don't know, man. I was at like 70 a second ago. Now I'm at 11. So give me 1 second. But you can keep.
So we've been doing 283 episodes. You would think on episode 284, Alex would learn to plug in his computer. Now, usually when this happens and the other co-host goes to the other side, you have to fill time. But I'm pretty disappointed that my co-host, who I said before has done 283 episodes, didn't have the idea to plug in his computer. Now, call me crazy, but if you're a podcasting YouTube show veteran, you would think by now that at episode 284, also, charge it, be coming back to life. And that's when I said to him that he better get out of my fucking face. Oh, you missed a crazy story, Alex. Did you plug in your computer?
I did.
Is it working?
Yes, it's charging.
I wonder if going live just like zapped the juice.
I don't know, but it wasn't fully charged when I started, but it certainly was not at 10% when I started. It was like 60 or 50 or 60. I don't know. Maybe I have too many windows open or something. But
so we'll start a new segment then for you, the Knicks fan.
Sure.
0, no vibe to win a title this year. 10, they're going to win the championship this year. Where are you on your Knicks title-o-meter?
I'm at 9.5. 9.5, 10.
You got to pick one number, Alex. Enough 10. Of this. You do this all the time.
10.
You're like, I think this, but
here's all the time. Last year, I guaranteed a championship like 100 times last year. I don't know. But you had Bryce, my guy Bryce Gelman, like get so pissed off at me because I was on his podcast a couple times.
What did I do?
And then we were texting, and then I kept what do you call it? I kept guaranteeing the championship, and he kept getting pissed like I was the jinx. I'm like, oh, Knicks are gonna win this game, and he'd be like, text me like, dude, you gotta stop.
Nah, it just was talent. It wasn't you.
Yeah, it was talent, I guess. Yeah, no, I mean, Knicks lost.
I mean,
they lost fair and square to the Pacers this year. Last year, or the year before, it wasn't really fair because they were up 2-0 and then everybody got hurt.
But that's the league, man. That is
it is the league.
It's just the league. You have so many things that have to go right.
You know what? You could say that, it wasn't really like. You can look at the reason why the Knicks fan looks at the year with Dante DiVincenzo, that run so fondly, is because we never got beat. It didn't feel like they got beat fairly because they were up 2-0 and then got injured in the whole 9 yards. And I think that's the second time I said whole 9 yards. And I don't think the last time I said that was, I don't even know how old I was. But anyway, so it felt like it was unfinished business. And then the next season, you lose Hartenstein, you get rid of Dante DiVincenzo, you bring in Towns, it's all different. So it was like a weird vibe the whole year until you got to the playoffs. And then they started winning these crazy games, and the Pistons series was nuts, and Brunson walk off. And then Mikal Bridges wins the 2 Celtics games with the big defensive plays at the end after the big comebacks in both games. And you're like, all right, now we can get behind this team. You know what I mean? Now you can really start to believe. It's at the conference finals, you dancing in the streets, and you lose on that miracle shot, and you blew the game, whatever. So that year was tough to swallow. So it didn't feel real. So, this year you really got beat. You really got beat by the Pacers. You were full strength. And, you had game 1 in the bag, and then you blew it. And they had that lucky shot from the top of hit the top of the ceiling, the top of the garden, and then bounced down in. And it's just like, are you kidding me? And you can't give away games in a playoff series. Once you do, you're going to lose. You're always chasing that W, and then you're never going to win. And we've talked about that during the series. I forgot who said it. Was like, once you give away a game in a series, you have to kind of win 5 games in the series, and that's almost impossible.
I heard that somewhere, but I don't remember who said it. But it was a really good point.
In the conference finals, when you're playing a team that's on your level, and the stakes are as high as they can possibly be, you can't give away games in the playoffs. And the Knicks saw it the 2 years ago when in the Sixers series, when they won that crazy game with the DiVincenzo shot and all that stuff. The Sixers probably felt the same way. Like, oh my God, we gave it away. There was a foul on the baseline, even though there wasn't, and on that whole crazy sequence. So it is what it is, but I'm very excited for the Knicks. I think that this is the year to do it. I don't think their window's closed if they don't do it. I think that they need to get off to a good start to quiet any Giannis rumors that could really fester because of what the agent dropped right before the season. Now, if the Knicks start off, let's say 9-8, or just not 9-8, I don't think they'll do that. But let's say they start off 12-7 or 12-8, and they're not they don't look like world beaters. They're struggling a little bit. And it's a new offense, and whatever the reason is, whatever negativity you can find, I'm sure some reporters will find it. But if they start off that way, the Giannis rumor is the first story on First Take and this and that. Giannis, the Bucks stink and this, that, even though they signed all of his brothers, it is what it is. So that Giannis story, they need to get off to a hot start to bury that Giannis story for the whole season. And, next year we'll recircle and we'll see how the season goes, and we have to approach that trade. We approach that trade. But right now, they have to get off to a hot start. New coach, new system, new players, better team. You upgraded Campaign and Precious Achiuwa with Gershon Yabusele and Jordan Clarkson, and you were in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks, and you have a championship coach in there who he hasn't won, but he's been to the finals, been around the block, coached every star in the last 25 years. You're ready. You're ready to win. So now's the time. So don't start off slow. Sorry, I'm rambling.
There is no serious expectations. I mean, even going into last season, the team to beat in the Eastern Conference was the Celtics. They were coming off their year where they won the NBA championship. They were basically bringing the entire team back, and everybody in the league said, oh, the Celtics are the team to beat. By the way, all of this doesn't matter. What matters is what happens when you get to the season, because then what happened to the Knicks is they fell flat versus the Celtics and the Cavs. Would they go 0-7, 0-8 versus them in the regular season? The Cavs don't make it out of the second round. The Knicks beat the Celtics in 6 and got some help with Tatum getting hurt. Now they were up. They were going to be up 3-1 regardless, but still help. Lucky things went their way, right? That you're talking about that Pacers series a couple years ago. You got to have some luck, and they got some injuries that really derailed their season. I mean, if you're a Pacer fan, I mean, how can you not think? I think this is the ultimate one. You're the Pacers. You're at Game 7 in Oklahoma City, and Halliburton gets hurt. Whatever it was in that game, I can't remember exactly the time of it, but they kept it close. Maybe they were up 1 going into the second half, and then in the second half, Oklahoma City turned on the Jets, and it was a blowout. But if you're a fan of them, you're going, what could have been? We were this close. Like, think about that feeling, how difficult it is to win a title, and that Pacer fan base being that close.
I've been there.
All of these factors.
94. I've been there.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I was a kid, but I've been there. John Starks.
No.
He was fouled at the end of Game 6. I mean, I asked that question to him. It was right on the Roommates podcast, and Stark said he wasn't fouled. He's a classy guy. He responded. They actually played my question on their show, and he said he wasn't fouled. But I've been there. I get it. It's a long time ago, but I've been there. So
the closest
I still think about it. 30 years
closest
later.
For me would be 2003.
Yeah,
Nets go to 6 versus the Spurs, and they're up in Game 6. They're up 12 in the fourth quarter. I mean that's.
Yeah, but you had no shot versus the Lakers the year before that.
No shot.
Yeah,
no shot. We've got Richard Jefferson on the. Richard Jefferson came on this podcast. He talked about it, where he was talking about trying to guard 2002 Shaquille O'Neal. There's a really famous photo from that NBA Finals where you see Shaq in the paint, and there's literally all 5 Nets on the court,
hanging on his shirt,
surrounding by him. I mean,
yeah.
To me, he was the best player I think I've ever seen in my life.
Most dominating player for sure.
Yeah, but it was just so different. Like, the conversation always surrounds, at least in our lifetime, Kobe, MJ, LeBron, right? Would you say from our circle of life? And I know Mikey Coins?
Mikey Coin Snatch. Yeah.
Mikey Coins. I don't know if you. So MJ and Kobe were really good. So I would say they're better than Jalen Brunson. I know you'll probably disagree with me here, but I know LeBron.
We love Mikey. We love Mikey. He's listening. I don't know if he is, but
so I would say, I don't remember what I was trying to say. We're connecting the dots here.
That you were saying Shaq is the dominating.
But I felt like from what I saw in my life, watching him play, he was better than Jordan. I know I don't believe it, but like just pure. But wouldn't you say dominating? But isn't dominating the equivalent of a best? Like,
I don't think Shaq was better than Jordan as far as dominating. I think Jordan just took over the league. But I know what you're saying. It was almost like unguardable. But I think it was Shaq and Hakeem get lost in the Jordan mess.
I was just laughing when we talk about Hakeem, but with the sorry to interrupt, but everybody always talks about is like I can't remember now, but about
the Olajuwon school, like the Hakeem
something. We always have a good.
We had who do we have on? Alyssa Rose, Howard Rose's daughter. On we were talking Mets a couple years ago, and she was talking about some Mets players like. He was working all offseason. You know who he worked with? I was like, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Because everybody's always like, they worked with Hakeem.
Yeah.
He's always
worked with Hakeem. And I don't think she got it, but you got it. And you were laughing for like 3 days. You were texting me like, I'm still laughing about
Hakeem Olajuwon. I'll text you sometimes random things that will make me laugh. Well, one thing I'm not going to say here, but there's one thing in particular that always makes me I think about it. I'm thinking about it now. I don't know if you know what I'm thinking, but it just instantaneously makes me laugh. I'll put that for another time. But it involves shellfish.
Shellfish.
It involves an allergy in shellfish. Where I
have no idea.
You don't know what I'm talking about. I text you this all the time. I don't want to spill the beans on somebody. So I want to do it. But it was about like
great story.
Kids' allergy and like can't eat seafood. But how do you not remember this?
I've literally no idea what you're talking about. I need more information.
But I don't want to. We're live, so I feel bad. I'm like a little nervous to say it. It's not a bad story.
Whatever.
Like, you want me to say it?
Yeah, I do. Is it about me?
No, it's not about you. It was a friend who had kids, and they were like, they can't. The kids can't eat shellfish.
Yes. No, it was a friend. No, he's not lisiding. But as a friend,
you don't know. You never know. I don't want to. Okay, you feel good.
Whatever.
It's not that interesting.
He's allergic to shellfish, and he didn't want to say that his daughter couldn't eat it while we were all out, me, Mike, and all the families and kids and stuff like that, and said she couldn't eat it. But he's like severely allergic, so like she would have to literally wipe herself down in order to touch her father because he's like, no, she can eat it. I'll just have to wipe my entire body. We're just like, dude, it's okay to say no. Like, you know what I mean? You're out watching your 2 little girls, and like it's all right to say no. All right, whatever. It's an inside joke, but. You had to be there, but
not anymore.
We're laughing about that for like 5 days.
I see. I'm still
Still laughing about it 2 years later. But anyway. Yeah. I don't know. But what we were saying. So Shaq and Hakeem, I think, are the most forgotten players of that era, the Jordan Kobe era, and LeBron era, because it's always about those three guys because they play with the ball in their hands and this, that, and the other thing. But Hakeem Olajuwon, beat Shaq. Hakeem Olajuwon didn't get a chance to go against Jordan because he was playing baseball. He's got his father killed for his gambling debts. You know what I mean? Like, it's just there's so much there where the Rockets were ready. I mean, I know they played the Knicks and they went to 7 with the Knicks, but the Knicks are one of those teams that actually went toe-to-toe with the Bulls all the time in the Eastern Conference, and Jordan could belittle the Knicks all he wants in the Last Dance. It was one of their biggest competitions in the East post Bad Boy Pistons was the Knicks. So, Knicks are one of the only teams to take Jordan to 7, took the Jordan to 7. Yeah, and the Pacers. So it is what it is. I would have liked to see that. I'm so happy the Knicks got that 94 finals and had that experience when Ewing was Ewing and 99 Ewing was hurt, et cetera, et cetera. But I would have loved, as a basketball historian, to have seen that Hakeem Rockets versus the Jordan Bulls and see what it would have been, because that would have been something.
Yeah. No, I love talking about the old stuff. I mean,
me too.
This has got me a little jealous because the NBA on NBC is coming back, and I'm I think a lot of fans really excited to see the opening because it's the greatest sports open, a network sports open, in my opinion, ever. Now, my people might have a difference of opinion. I'm an NBA junkie. I love the NBA the most. That's my era of growing up. Talked about this on the last episode. 2002 was the last year of the NBA on NBC. 2003, it moved to ABC. I remember because the Nets were in those finals. But I'm a little jealous.
The Nets ruined NBA on NBC. They're in the finals. The NBC said, "Oh, forget this. We can't have the finals anymore." They said, "Forget it."
Yeah, fuck off. Sucks. But I'm jealous because there's going to be so many Knick games. I'm assuming have these fun opens,
right?
And you're going to get to feel a little nostalgia. If it's Brunson and Towns or whatever they put together with their open when they're playing. I guess
the Ewing point. He used to point.
They're just gonna. They're going to do that they're going to crush the production.
Or Shaq sliding on the floor with the ball. Remember that one? A lot of those things.
Yes. Yeah. So they're going to have fun with that. And I'm just the Nets will have none of that joy.
No, they will not be in the video.
They will not be in the video. So they're going to have to earn somehow a miracle to get, which is not.
The Knicks earned it. Happen. So you know what? You're climbing up the mountain. Like I said, you're up the mountain. You're on the way up. You're not there yet. You don't have a star. You don't have anybody who's
no, they have no national market. They have no national interest. I'm not, I get it. I know what's up.
Do you?
I understand. Yeah, I get it. I understand that. I know the gist of that. But it's fun. I'll go back and look at it. I'm sure you do it too. Some of those 2002.
Oh, I love it. The opens, and the production, just the production and the story. You saw the starting lineups. You got into the game so much more just because of that. And everything like that. I just love the fact. Shout out to you, Eater. But I just love the production aspect of it, just from being in broadcasting and all that stuff. It's just I love that. And as a kid growing up and watching that, it got you into the NBA because you learned the story, and not just the story of following social media and the posts of what the NBA wants to do, just building up to this game. The last time they played, they lost by 25, and then the one, and then did you show some fans in the streets getting you all hyped, and it's next on NBC. It gets you all ready to go. And then you get the starting lineups, you learn the player. You're not just seeing pictures on the screen. You're seeing the guy come out, slap hands. You see how they do their little pregame warm-ups and their handshakes, and you get into it. It's just so much more to it. I don't know. That's just
I wonder if whoever did that voice.
Oh, the NBC guy voice? I don't know.
Yeah. Is alive and can do it. It's been
NBA on NBC.
Or did I guess they have it on tape, and I guess Marv did the VO, the voiceovers,
and Bob Costas also,
and Costas did a lot of it.
So, but who's the NBC guy now?
Who's the voice of NBC?
Is it Ian Eagle? I think it's Ian Eagle and Noah Eagle. I think it's both.
Is Ian? I don't know. Is he? Maybe
he's doing Amazon. I don't know who's doing.
I don't see. Here's the thing too. It's so confusing.
Everything, yeah.
What's what? Because it's not just you're.
No, I get it.
Is it Mike Tirico?
Tarico. No, he does the football. Is he going to do the basketball too? I mean, he could do it. He's one of the best. He knows it all.
This is the first time I've ever been able to say this, but if you're listening and write it in the comment section and tell us if you're able to use Google better than we can. Please don't hesitate to leave.
Let us know because we're idiots.
Like seriously, we'll take the help.
So Richard Jefferson.
No, it's Mike Tirico.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So Tirico and Noah Eagle as the lead play-by-play announcer, supported by analysts like Reggie Miller, Jamal Crawford, and Grant Hill. Studio team includes Carmelo Anthony, Vince Carter, and Tracy McGrady, with Maria Taylor and Ahmed Fareed as studio hosts. Other key roles include Grant Liffman and Chris Mannix as insiders, Zora Stevenson, Jordan Cornette, and Ashley Shahamandi. I don't know who that is, but as courtside reporters. Oh, okay. And then isn't Michael Jordan going to have like a side thing also? And Mello is one of the voices of NBC. Yeah, Eaters. Yeah.
I love that it's.
I thought Michael Jordan was going to be on it too. I don't think anybody likes Reggie Miller. Knicks and Nets fans. Nobody. I don't know who likes Reggie Miller besides Pacers fans. I mean, he is entertaining on TV. I got to admit, like he's a little entertaining as a color guy, but I just can't stand him. Stand his face.
Well, he did have a horrible shot. I mean, that shot he hit against the Nets in 2002. But they changed the rule of replay from that because he took that shot after in Game 5 of Round 1, which was best of 5 then.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow! I just see Rob Perez at Worldwide Wobe. Everybody follows him, and he follows everybody. But he posted a picture of NBA and NBC. NBC did send the studio for courtside halftime report. And it's looks like Maria Taylor, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, and Carmelo Anthony standing on the court doing a thing. And by the way, Tracy McGrady was on this podcast once. That was a great episode. We had a lot of fun with him. Some great stories, some from his Knicks half a season and that first game versus OKC. Go back in the archives of Bad Weather fans. You want to hear that interview. But it's going to be fun back on NBC. It really is because it'll be nostalgic. And what's cool what the NBA is doing, at first I didn't really love it. There's going to be primetime games on every day. And I know that that's weird because we're so used to the Tuesday and Thursday game getting the exposure. But every day there's going to be a game on either Prime or NBC or ESPN or ABC. And it's good and bad. It's bad because there's no like central Thursday game where the hardcore NBA fans going to be locked in. But there is also that aspect of you can always have a game on. You can be out with your friends or in an Uber or, in the bathroom. And there's going to be a game on that you can pop on and see what's going on. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. And you can get into it with the gambling aspect as well. I know that's what they all care about. I mean, I love fantasy basketball. It's not as big in the NBA as it is in the NFL or baseball either, but it's still fun to get into that and see your guys. And you can always have them on because, League Pass is such a pain in the ass. It's expensive and so at least you can catch a game here and there without having to pay for that.
Why'd you pick the bathroom?
Why? You never watched anything in the bathroom?
No, I did. I watch a lot of things in the bathroom. Just the way you said it made me laugh. You're like, in the bathroom.
Well, I don't want to say taking a shit, but you want to make me say it. I mean, I can say
the NBA on NBC is back, and I'll be watching in the bathroom.
You want to see this shit while you're taking a shit. On NBC. So your thoughts on the Knicks? Well, how many wins do you think they're getting this season? What's your official?
56.
56 is the official. Okay.
It is. I mean, I just think 60 plus is a lot. A lot of wins. Yeah. I just think stuff happens through the course of the season. Some nights where you're not focused, some nights where people aren't playing, but I think 56 is it's a lot of fucking wins. So 56. What'd they get last year?
Oh my God, I should know this.
Probably around there, right? 50. No, maybe no, 52.
Knicks wins last season.
52?
54. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't want to say it because I don't forget.
No.
51. 51.
And it was 49 the year before?
50 the year before. They had 2 straight years of 50 and went to the Eastern Conference Finals and then fired their coach. So but yeah, no, I think they could be pushing 60 this year, and I don't know exactly how many. It really is health is everything for the regular season because you're not going to push your guys when you have everything locked up. Like look at me talking about everything locked up, but like the Knicks need to lock up a top 3, 2 seed. Let's get to the 2, and then you can just chill. you want to get the 1 seed. You want to have everything go through the Garden, one of the toughest places to play, even though everybody wins on the road in the NBA now in the playoffs. It doesn't really matter. But, well, last season they did at least. But you want to have either the top 2 seeds locked up, one of the top 2 seeds. I'll take the 2 seed and roll. Unless you're within a game, then, keep going. But if you're locked in at the 2 and you're 10 games up on the 3 and you're kind of close, it's just ride the wave. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go crazy. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the season. I don't know. I just feel like Jalen Brunson could legitimately win an MVP this year. I feel like Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be comfortable in this offense. I feel like everybody's bought in, and like this is the year they're going to go all in. The only issue is this last roster spot, and Ian Begley had a post out today about how it's Saturday at 5:00 is they have to make a decision. They have 3 guys for the last roster spot with Shamet, Malcolm Brogdon, and Garrison Matthews. They have to pick one of the 3, and then they have to cut the 2 unless they trade one of McBride, Kolick, or Daddier. And I would trade Daddier if you're going to do that. But honestly, I would just keep Shamet or even Matthews. He could shoot, but I would keep Shamet because he's experienced. And Brogdon has looked cooked in this preseason. I know he's been around and he's got the experience, but the Knicks have experience. They don't need a guy with experience on the end of the bench just because he has experience. You know what I mean? The Knicks' entire team is playoff tested and ready to win. They don't need a Malcolm Brogdon just because he's Malcolm Brogdon and been around the block. This isn't 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
The Knicks have a ton of veterans. That shouldn't. Their concern should just be the best possible players,
right?
At the to win a title, and whatever that is, and that's whatever the team makes that decision, and whatever the coaching staff, upper management feel that's the decision. It's not about and honestly though, Alex, that might be they could feel like he does give them the best chance to win because of that vocal leadership. Maybe they like that. I mean, that could, however you want to spin it. Mm-hmm. That is a huge part of it. I do want to say this too, because you were thinking about it and you're like, they have a couple of years in this wheelhouse. When people do talk about the trade that happened with the Nets and the Knicks to get Mikal over here to New York, and then the Nets getting the 5 unprotected picks. I do want to like understand when everybody's like, oh, they're late first rounders. 2029 and 2031. There's no guarantee that the Knicks will be good then, and I don't say that because 2029 and 2031. This is not me being
2031. I feel like 29.
In 4 years. In 4 years from now, that's a long ass time where a lot of things can change. 2031,
right? Even if they get Giannis in 2030, they might not be good anymore.
And things just change so fast, like in this league, where teams' direction move and teams get old quick. So let's not forget that those picks down the line aren't exact. There's no guarantee those are going to be late first round picks. They might, I don't know. They could be. You obviously want them to be late first round picks. I want them to be the number 1 pick in the draft, but that goes without saying. But there's no lock. Like every time, a Knicks fan has a conversation, they're all late first round picks. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen in 2, 4, or 6 years. Get out of here. Things can change. Come on.
You know what it is? Everyone else plays checkers, and Leon Rose plays chess. That's just what happens. And he's always one step ahead of everybody. It's just how it's been the last couple of years. I've doubted him in the beginning.
Stop with this.
I didn't doubt him the first year. I doubted him the second year and third year. And then I was just like, all right, you know what? Like, things are starting to hit. You know what I'm saying? It's time to just have like blind faith a little bit right now. And the OG trade was like set me off because Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett were two of my favorite players, and that was tough. But you win like 10 straight games or 8 straight games, whatever they did right out of the gate, and I'm just like, all right, you know what? This is a good trade. I'm not ashamed to say I was wrong. I'm not one of those guys who's more of a fan of his opinion than he is of the team. I'm a Knicks fan. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm not trying to, I can be wrong. Everybody's wrong. It used to be I was wrong. You get clowned by your friends and you move on. And that's what it is. And that's how I'll be on Twitter. That's how I've always been. I don't give a shit. I might troll or joke around, but it is what it is. I'm happy. Leon Rose has hit Grand Slam after Grand Slam. And if it wasn't for the CBA, Isaiah Hartenstein would still be a Knick. So it is what it is. The Knicks are rolling and they have a plan, and there's always one that Leon Rose has up his sleeve. Did you think Jordan Clarkson would be on the Knicks this year? I don't think so.
Well, honestly, I agree with what you're saying, but to quantify like Jordan Clarkson's this massive home
now
run.
You're gonna nick. Now you're gonna
No. It was a good
man of the year perennial.
Hold on.
Yeah,
it was a very good signing, but not like this master plan. And he knew he was coming from the clouds, and they got him. And like, come on, come on.
I don't know, man.
No,
he was the head of CAA. He's got some connections, bro.
It's a very good veteran signing, but I wouldn't say that was anything magical. So a good pickup. Very good
magical. Pickup. I mean, they got Jordan Clarkson on a discount. You know what I'm saying? They got him for nothing. That's pretty magical.
That's not magical to me. No, you and I have a different view of what magical is.
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you.
You think getting Jalen Brunson was magical?
I think that was magical.
Okay, thank you.
I think that was not meant to be magical.
What are your thoughts on Pablo Torre and all this digging he's doing of like the snitching and the just like, I want to expose the truth? Like, no, you just want to make money off of exposing things. You don't really care. You know what I'm saying? It is,
and I have no problem with that.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I have no problem with that. I think anybody wants to, if they're a good reporter and that's their job and want to make money, sure. If there's nothing there, if there's nothing there, then stop.
Right. Well, the Knicks thing, stop. Everything he says about the Knicks, he just mentions it casually with Cuban on or just on with Dan Patrick and, dipping my toe in. And it's like, bro, if you have something to say it. If you don't, then shut up, man.
Well, I mean,
he's lighting up the flare. He's asking for information, basically. Every time he mentions the Knicks, he's like, shout out the flare. He's like, you have information to say, call 1-800, I'm a snitch. Thank you.
Kudos to Jalen Brunson, though, who just took $110 million less. I mean,
of course he did, because he wants to win as a Knick.
No, I'm serious. Like, good. That's it's really noble
honestly,
thing to do.
Everybody's taking money under the table. If you don't think everybody's taking money under the table with this ridiculous salary cap that there is in the NBA with the CBA, and it handcuffs teams.
I hate the new CBA. I actually hate it. I know you and I always joke about like the
aprons and stuff.
Aprons, but the more and more I learn about it, I just hate it.
Makes no sense.
I think it's ruining the sport. like the fact that there should be dynasties. Dynasties are good. It's not a bad thing to have a dynasty in the NBA. The NBA was at its best when it had true dynasties. Let's do everything we can to make Oklahoma City retain their players and be awesome. That's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be. They're supposed to create a dynasty, and then we all hate them because they don't stop winning. Right.
Well, they did resign their guys, but they had to manipulate and be like super smart and in advance and like sign them at certain times. It's just like,
I hate
a ridiculous thing.
Yeah. I mean, look at,
it's too complicated. The average fan can't follow it. Yeah.
The Warriors
were
a fun story. The Warriors were a fun story when they drafted Curry, when they drafted Steph, and then they got Durant. They got too good. Everybody hated them. But that's the fun of it. No one remembers that nobody could beat them, and then the Cavs did. Like, that's how it should be. That's fun. But now you have this window, and in the moment I didn't realize what Brunson did, and I undervalued the importance of it. Mm-hmm. But the more I understand now how this second apron does work and the CBA does work, that was a huge move by him, legally or illegally.
Well, it's legal until I don't know it's legal. I mean, it's legal,
which I'll go with. I have to go with that. That really helped the franchise. The more and more I realize it, he did a huge favor.
They can't keep Mikal for the organization. They can't keep OG. They can't keep Mikal. They can't get Towns. They can't do anything. They
not that having Mikal matters, but whatever.
Oh yeah, sure. But it's one of those situations where he saw the future. I mean, this is not. Jalen Brunson grew up with a professional basketball player as his dad. I mean, I know Rick Brunson wasn't making like LeBron money or something, but he was not. He was very well off compared to the average human. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he grew up poor. So he can, take a little less money and understands the bigger picture because he grew up around the sport. Like, I want a legacy, and I'm in a city and the star of a team in a place where the fans are crazy, starved for basketball, love basketball. And if I win one here, I can make $113 million 15 times over just by winning that one championship. And that's really what it might all be. It might not be this Kawhi Leonard kind of nonsense under the table BS that the Steve Ballmer and the Clippers did. It might just be Jalen Brunson saw what it could be, and he wants to be the guy. He sees what Clyde is around the Garden. He wants to be the guy wearing funky suits in 20 years. You know what I'm saying? He won the championship. Clyde had like 20 assists in Game 7 of the NBA Final. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the man. And now you're in a part of history where the NBA is one of the top sports. And back then it was on tape delay. The Knicks' second championship in 1973 was on tape delay, Mike. Can you imagine that? So now it's going to be all over the news, all over the world, national news. Knicks won a championship and the drought and the New York City drought of no winning championships. And you know what? He can make so much more money off the court, and then you cash in.
Yeah,
we on the contract.
We have to do everything in our power to make sure that never happens. Like that cannot happen. Like that cannot happen.
Speak for yourself. I don't know about
that cannot happen.
Fans and
no, that
food poisoning or something, right?
That cannot happen. We do not need that happening. I deserve it more than any Knick fan I've ever met. Like that should not happen. Like that cannot. And it's a
what
real
would
chance
you do if
year.
the Knicks won a championship and Mikal Bridges was the Finals MVP? How would you react?
I would say congratulations. Like kudos. I mean, what else can I do?
Would you want to watch the NBA ever again?
Yeah, of course.
You wouldn't be like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, it would be. I mean, I'm a little hyperbolic here when I'm talking about this. Yeah. I don't want the Knicks to win a championship, but no, if that happened, first of all, that can't happen. He's just not good enough of a player for that. I'm just kidding a little bit. It could happen. He could. No, I'm joking around. Yeah, Mikal could. I mean, I personally think, like I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again, that trade was beneficial for both teams. Now, hurt a little bit if it means they can't get Giannis, but you could make you could make the argument, and I'd be open to it, that the Knicks are actually better off without Giannis, and that this core makes them a stronger team than if he was with the Knicks, right? I'd be up for that debate. I think it'd be really interesting. I'm not sold either way personally, but I've said this a million times. That trade helped both organizations. The Nets got a reset where they got 5 unprotected first-round draft picks, 2 of which this year now are on the team, and Drake Powell and Ben Saroff. And the Knicks got themselves another core member of the team that can help try to take them over the top. He's not a superstar.
And that trade allowed them to make the other trade with the Rockets to get their picks back. Sorry.
Right, which sucked too, because that pick ended up being 10th.
Right. But you know what I mean? It allowed them to have that. They just didn't go full tank. And they screwed it up themselves, but whatever. That was their fault.
Yeah. It's like anybody that's going to, I can't have an argument with somebody, and I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Where they're like, that was a horrible trade for the Nets. I'm just like, no, it wasn't. It was not. There's no the horrible part would be if the Knicks won a title in their city that they share. That would be the horrible
part.
And
the Nets never get over the hump or get good.
There's no way that any other team was offering anything remotely close to the value that they got in that trade. And because of that, it was a good trade for the Nets. Now, how do they do with those draft picks? Does Drake Powell become a player? Does Ben Saroff become a player? As Josh Hart says, is the 14-year-old right now that's living somewhere in this world become a good player?
Yeah.
I don't know. But at least they have an opportunity to find out. They weren't winning anything with him on the team. So why would you still want him? And then from the Knicks side, they improved their roster. They've got a guy now that can two-way defend. Can't shoot threes really well. See if he improves on that, but is a top 75 NBA, top 60 NBA player. Both can be true. But anytime I get the value of, the Nets suck, these guys suck, you can't trade them for 5 first round, these guys aren't going to be any good. It's like, Alex, I can't have those conversations with those Knicks fans.
It just shows you that you instant reactions to trades aren't always the right reaction, and the common thought of what happens at a trade when it's first made is not always what's the proper common thought. Like, you can go back to the Porzingis trade. The Knicks got mocked to the end of the earth, if that's even an expression, about the Porzingis trade. I can't believe you traded Porzingis. You ended up with nobody. Right. You signed Julius Randle. Look at these idiots. Max Kellerman on ESPN. Stephen A. Smith is acting like he's crying, and all these like fake ass Knicks fans on TV. And it's just nonstop Knicks for clicks, right? Piling on. It ended up, the Porzingis trade ended up setting up what this team is today.
Yeah.
Like that cleared the deck for the Knicks. They ended up getting some draft picks. They signed Marcus Morris. They flipped him for another pick that ended up being Emmanuel Quickly. They ended up getting RJ Barrett. They ended up doing all of this that turned into OG Anunoby, that turned into Julius Randle, turned into Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Brunson came, who happened to be Leon Rose's god. So, you know what I mean? I know Leon Rose wasn't there when the trade was made, but still, Perry was there, who ended up coming in with Leon Rose and working with him for a little bit. So the plan was there. You know what I'm saying? Leon Rose hit a lot of grand slams, but he is not able to build the roster that he is today without those trades by Perry, without that Porzingis trade, without clearing the deck for him. Like, they literally cleared the deck for him. He had cap space, he had picks, he had a canvas to build a roster. And they probably overachieved that first season, which made them screw up. And they thought they were ahead of the game. That's why they tried to get these veterans like Fournier and Kemba on these deals. But it ended up blowing up their face, so they regroup, et cetera, et cetera. We know the story. Bottom line is, we don't know what, like I talked about earlier in this episode, OG Anunoby trade. I flipped out when they traded for OG Anunoby for RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, two fan favorites, two of my favorite players. Ended up being the right move. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like RJ Barrett is a really good player. Emmanuel Quickly is a really good player, but they're not. Those two guys need to get paid at this point, and especially with the collective bargaining agreement. So you can't keep them. You need to get one guy that's better and that fits the role, and he was perfect. Mikal Bridges, Knicks fans mocked Nets fans for that trade on that day, myself included. You got upset like that they made the trade. You're like, I can't believe they did it. I can't believe they did this. But then you calm down and you look at the trade. You're like, all right, you know what? It probably was an equal trade. You know what I mean? Especially if the Knicks end up becoming a championship contender, which they are. And they end up flipping. They could also flip Mikal in the middle of the season because he has that trade kicker also. He doesn't care. He took a little less money because he has that trade kicker in there. So it all could come together that it was both on the same side. But now the Nets need to actually hit on some of these picks.
Sure, of
course. They can't be Tariq Whitehead. They just released. It can't be somebody like that. They have to be players. You know what I mean? So we'll see. It's all down 5 years down the road. We'll see how it's going. I mean,
no, it's going to take time. It's going to take. I think you're right.
And that's going to be a playoff team, and then both teams are going to be like, all right, you know what? It kind of worked out for both of us. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's the funny part of it is if you subtract that it's the Knicks and just make it any other team, like for example, the Nets and the Denver Nuggets made a trade this offseason. The Nets have another future pick, whatever the year was. It's crazy. For the Michael Porter Jr. like 2033, they have a first round pick from Denver. Who knows what the Nuggets will be then? That means like not even worth even thinking about. But let's just pretend it was a different team. Like they made the trade with the Hawks. Like, and the Hawks won a title with Mikal. I wouldn't care.
Right. You wouldn't give a shit.
You know, I wouldn't care. But because it is the Knicks, it makes me care. But if you can remove that aspect of it, it was the right decision for the organization. And I think any sane, reasonable fan would admit that and can see it from the two-way side of it. And it's just going to take time to know, I guess, who, like, what if the Knicks win the championships and the Nets, two of these picks get Hall of Famers and they never win a title, okay? But they get to the finals, they're constant Eastern Conference teams, and you know they make a trade and they have unbelievable guys. I guess you would say the Knicks won the trade, but the Nets definitely won it too. Like they weren't going anywhere, so it worked out in their benefit. You have to understand that. It's like the when you're like Randall for Towns, I think to me is a little more fun because it's two guys that have.
Don't forget Dante. Yeah,
and Dante and Randall for Towns. You're okay. Now you got established Knicks, established all-star in Towns, right? And you can actually have like a real debate,
right?
Like were the Knicks better off with Towns than they were Randall and DiVincenzo? Like it's easier to for me, in my opinion, you can give an opinion there because they're actually on the court and these were guys really part of the organization and part of the fabric of the Knicks going forward. You know, like you can't do that when you're trading for lottery picks.
That's true. That's true. And another trade that I thought of that we've mentioned a lot of times on the show over the history of our show and Bad Weather fans, like and subscribe everywhere, available
give me a clue.
Everywhere. Brothers. That's a clue.
This NBA?
Yeah, trade. NBA trade history that seemed one-sided.
The Gasol trade. The Gasol trade.
Pau Gasol for Kwame Brown Grizzlies and Lakers. So the Grizzlies apparently handed the Lakers Pau Gasol and 2 more championships with Kobe. And
perfect example.
And Stephen A. Smith, this is like one of his things that he got famous from with one of his rants, and doing like, I can't believe they traded for Kwame Brown, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it turns out a throw-in the deal was Pau Gasol's brother, Marc Gasol, who got sent to the Grizzlies and ended up becoming the best player in that franchise's history. Like, the Grizzlies never won a championship, but his jersey is going to be retired if it's not already. It ended up being a pretty even trade.
Right.
Like,
it worked out for him.
Yeah, it worked out for them. I mean, the Grizzlies never won, but they had a really good squad when they got Zach Randolph and Mike Conley and those guys, and it was a good squad. It was a fun team.
Yeah,
they were kind of like the '90s Knicks over there. The Grizzlies, they were a tough team, and
not as good as the '90s Knicks.
No, not as good, but
not as successful.
They were similar kind of style, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like they always lost in the second round. Those Grizzlies teams.
They did. I remember one time they did not tank, but they lost a couple games on purpose at the end of the season so they can play the Spurs in the first round, and everybody's like, "Oh, are you crazy?" And then they ended up stomping the Spurs out the first round. I was like, "All right, I guess they knew what they were doing," So
yeah, that never works though.
Yeah, no, it was the one time that it did though. So you can go back.
Yeah, you always hate that. I always hate that.
No,
I did respect the who did that? I can't remember now. But so like the Knicks didn't care the year before when they played the Sixers, and it was a tough first round matchup. But they didn't want to avoid Philly or whatever. No, they didn't care.
Yeah, everybody's like, well, you don't want Philly in the first round. I mean, it was a tough series, but the next
that team will never win anything with Embiid.
Well, he's healthy, man. He's playing with the ones practicing.
He's never going to make it through. I've said this before, and I
couldn't say that with a straight face.
I think
he
about
is
this.
Though, but he is practicing.
The NBA season last year went into June.
Yeah,
he can't make it to January.
No, he's got to take off like 5 games a month in order to get to the playoffs.
I would.
And even then, they're not going to be good enough. Paul George stinks. You know what I mean? It is a waste of money. Clyde was ripping them apart in the preseason games in Abu Dhabi. If you Knicks fans heard that, but it was funny. But yeah, no, the Sixers are a joke. Unless this kid, what's his name, EJ, he's like he can fly, and then
but it's gonna take time.
And then McLean got hurt too, right? And Jared McLean's out also again. He got hurt now 2 times in 2 years. They're just a cursed franchise. And if I was Tyrese Maxey, I'd want to be traded. That's the guy. The Nets want to get a guy, Tyrese Maxey.
Well,
who's the guy? Can the Nets guy?
Do you remember they tried?
They did? No, I didn't know that.
Well, with that, yeah, man. I don't. I'm getting
because you always think about the guy that the Nets can trade for. Now they have all these picks. They have young players. Who is the star? Is it LaMelo Ball? Is it Tyrese Maxey?
They got to get good. They got to get a little decent first before they make the trade. Okay, that's number one. Number two, when the Nets were originally talking to the Sixers about Harden, Maxey was in those conversations, but I think Philly rejected that, and then they got Ben Simmons.
That was not a great trade. That's one of those trades where, maybe that wasn't a good one.
That's the trade. I mean, really, that's the trade.
That ruined the franchise?
Yes. Yeah, that's the one that ruined the franchise.
Right.
But there was a reason
you had the culture Nets. You had the culture Nets that added Durant and Kyrie and DeAndre Jordan, who stunk. Knicks fans knew that when his half a season. They knew.
Yeah, but that was just because they wanted to get Durant.
Plus of doing business. Yeah.
Durant and Kyrie.
Yeah, sure.
In their primes.
Okay.
Durant was awesome when he came back from that injury. He was not. He was awesome. He was unbelievable that first year.
They could have regrouped pretty quickly if it blew up in their face if they didn't make that Harden trade, because then they ended up giving up so much and ruining the franchise. And Harden came in and saw Kyrie wasn't serious, and he's like, "Get me out of here! What's going on?" You know what I mean? And if Harden thinks something's like crazy, then it's really crazy. So.
Well, I mean, I'm not going back on this one. We're not looking back at COVID and.
Yeah, no. Oh no. Outside of all that, I'm talking about just in general. I think.
But that's what. Yeah.
Part of it. But I guess I don't want to get into that. But
I mean, I guess if they never trade for Harden, and then they go into like that playoff series against the Bucks and Kyrie's hurt, like you have more.
You have LeVert
backup. You have LeVert. Yeah. You have Jared Allen. I guess you have Taurean Prince. You just have more bandwidth.
Maybe another veteran you sign, to join.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Alex. So
anyway,
you good?
I think I'm good. I'm starting to freeze. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah. So thanks for joining. I mean,
your Twitter crushed it, by the way.
Yeah. I'm looking at the amount of views. So it's good stuff, man. Guys, thanks for joining. We'll tease this a little bit beforehand next time.
Yeah,
but
we'll do it after games, which I think you'll see is pretty important.
I agree.
So I think for us, looking at the schedule, we can find a Knick game at the same time would be ideal. So we'll see what happens. But Bad Weather fans, if you are watching this through Alex's Twitter, check us out on YouTube. Bad Weather fans, type it in. Next time I'll be more prepared and understand how I can share the link, and so you can see us. But go to YouTube, type in Bad Weather fans, and you can watch this again. You can see all of our previous interviews. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let me try this real quick. Hold on. Here we go.
Whoa, look at those graphics, bro. That is what's up, man.
Yeah.
See this, man? We don't need interns.
Well, it's thank you to StreamYard.
Yes, StreamYard.
Yeah, there it is. But anyway, we could develop this more and have more Bad Weather fans branding. We don't have merch.
We don't. But thank you to all the Bad Weather fans. We appreciate you guys joining the show and listening. And on my Twitter at Knicks Central, and Mike's Twitter at Mike Delivers Pod. He's the Nets fan. I'm the Knicks fan. We do this all the time. Been doing it for 5 years. Had a lot of great guests. Ron Artest, Meta World Peace, same guy. Tracy McGrady, Richard Jefferson a couple times. Evan Roberts, Gio from WFAN. We've had Kerry Kittles, Chris Childs, Tracy McGrady. I said that already, I think. Channing Frye. That was fun. We've had a lot of fun guests. The Iron Eagle. You know, we've had some fun. Connor Hughes, shout out to him. You know, Jets suck.
We're due for a big yes now.
Yeah, we're shaking some trees. We're doing our thing, but we'll see what happens. You know.
Bad Weather fans, episode 284 live on YouTube and Twitter. Alex had a lot of fun, and we'll talk to you later.
See ya.
All right, let me see how long this takes to end. Boom.